You're listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Rougher roads ahead. Thanks to all of you. Remember, you can run from God, but you can't hide. See, they're mimicking God with that. They don't want to attribute that to God. They want to attribute it to themselves as criminals harassing people within the community. So we're supposed to believe the highest level of police science is buddy fucker. Now, one thing about buddy fucker isn't your buddy. Never was, never will be. But buddy fucker's a bullshit piece of shit. And buddy fucker comes along and pretends to be your buddy while fucking you. What happened yesterday was triggered early. They weren't ready to lower the boom and fuck me. The curses haven't been applied long enough. The worship of Satan and the sacrifice of people weren't high enough for that trigger to be flipped. Yeah, I can tell you all day what's going to happen, and you still do it, all of you. You're all sick bitches. What happens is you ever see a bunch of insects, bunch of nasty, slimy insects. They'll move in a certain direction as a whole, and half of them will die. They'll drown or something. And then but the other half lives and says, "Aren't we glorious? We lived." But yet the half that died would say that if they lived. So again, people have de-evolved in reality. The church has de-evolved. And of course, what's driving that appears to be official buddy fuckers. The highest level of police science today. A buddy fucker. Age-old bullshit. No. This is so high level that none of you can figure out what it is. Only our greatest officers. They sit there and they look at the file. Oh, this is what it means. Age-old buddy fucker. It's just like that guy who told the Republicans, "Hey, we got films, all this. There's a big file. Biden's doing this, and Biden may have done something, but that guy didn't have the evidence. He just wanted your money. He wanted to scam you. He wanted that job in Silicon Valley." What's a Tesla, huh? Somebody's got an old Tesla. So that's a trickle-down Tesla, I'd say. Looks like it's running good. We have it here at the ghetto. Tesla has made it to the ghetto extended stays. See, I'm intelligent. I focus on these things so we could know what's actually happening versus what buddy fucker, says is happening. So that's not, I don't think, that's maybe a little newer. I don't think it's brand new. He didn't pay I don't think he paid full price. Let me ask you, what year is that? Oh, you know? What's that? Oh, okay. Oh, I thought, yeah, okay. I thought it's kind of out of place here. It looks like it's upscale, you know.
I see you doing that every day. What are you doing?
I'm doing a podcast.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, he's a rental. So I guess it is kind of newer. It looked older. It's one. I guess it's a more basic model or something, but that, it's interesting. Well, maybe it didn't there. See, that's the reality. Again, we have what Elon Musk wants and what says is going to happen, but we don't know if that's going to happen. Hmm. So until we see the Teslas showing up in these places, the Rivians and all that, then it's just another rich man's bullshit pipe dream. And actually, it isn't even a pipe dream; it's a fantasy, so that everybody will, fall in line behind them and worship them and their wares. So again, that's the reality. That's the inside. That's what's actually happening, but they're out about it, quote unquote. They're out about it means that they're living the inside out, which is good if it's a good inside, then it's good to live it out. But what we have is very evil people living that inside out, and they're beholden to Satan and things such as that. And it's not the people you would think it. The church focuses on people they call sinners. But what happens in that mechanism is that the church is the sinner. And of course they are, right? Because we get back to none good, no, not one, and all have fallen short of the glory of God. But what happens is they seize on little parts of the scripture that are designed to help uplift the believer so that they're not crushed. But they use it to crush other people. So you see what's happened, a complete role reversal. Those that were outside of Christianity, causing the need for Christianity, are now inside Christianity, and they've owned it and destroyed it and sold it to Satan for their Silicon Valley job, their mansions in Oklahoma, the ones they live in, and the big church that supposedly is needed to better function. Again, believing that Jesus left the planet saying that you would be very wealthy. I mean, it's nothing further from the truth. My friend, she goes to these churches, the one that's on the street. It's almost like she sees Christianity like a lottery, because she's in a church where it sees it as a lottery, or causes her to see it, and they believe it's a lottery or something like that. Because when am I going to get mine? I'm saying you're getting yours. Jesus says this is what you get. Don't believe them. They're getting you to give them money so they can live their life. But again, being on the street, you do need a support network. It's just she's been done in such a way that she can't find the right church. And again, that's what we call a cult, but a lot of churches are cults. I've been in churches that hate cults that are cults. And again, what are cults? Buddy fuckers. That's what we used to call these people. Now they're on the street. They're patrolling fucking the community. They let the buddy fuckers out of the office. Now they're on the street fucking everyone. That's what it's called, man. Don't elevate it to some superior activity. Oh no, we're operators for Demon Chase Man or Chase Demon. And that's true though. Now they got the backing of these big banks. Banks own police departments. How? Through the guy that works for their security that tells them what to do. But who's telling him and her what to do? Satan. Now they go, he's backing crime because he says this. No, you're backing crime. That's why it exists. But you're doing it how? Exactly the way I say you do it. First, they drive around you, fucking you, over and over again. Then they enter something in and hope they get a reaction. Now go, well, it's the highest level of police psychology. He just described every program that we use successfully. We keep you safe. You're safe, aren't you? You're safe, but the other insects that died from crawling into the water, but you rode up on their back, right? And you're superior, right? They thought they were superior until they were drowned. So again, you have to understand. And again, you might think it's a lottery. That's a good way to believe it, right? It's a lottery. But I spoke about the lottery years ago. It's a short story from the 60s or 70s, I think. They know they're killing people, man. It's in survival of the fittest. You're criminals. Criminals are not fit. Oh, but I wear a badge. Oh, okay. Jesters of Satan's court. That's why the world is de-evolving. That's why the world is having these murders. But you're alive, right? We took care of you your whole life. Yeah, with the other 10 people, you said you were going to take care of, you didn't. Because somebody paid them to be a buddy fucker. The highest level of police science today is buddy fucking. That's really what it is. I'm not vulgar. Got to speak the way you speak. I'll go, I don't speak that way. You know you're in your office saying, get that fucker. You know you said that. Oh, no. 5 virgins, let's go. Parade in front of everyone. This is... People being fucked to crime. Oh no, we're just testing them. They have to push through the fuck. Oh, you'll pay me another $2,000 if I fuck them today? Oh, okay. Yeah, push through the fuck, buddy. I'm making money. Boy, everybody's up early this morning. Remember I told you nobody was out yesterday? Everybody came out today. Out for a walk this morning. I didn't even drink a cup of coffee this morning. So I have been reducing my coffee. This morning I didn't even need it. I didn't even sleep that much. They already interfered with my sleep patterns. They'll pay for it. God will deal with it. Don't act out physically. That's what they want. Just let God handle it. It'll be worse for them in the end than it was in the beginning. So let's go to the other. I was supposed to be speaking on, was this one on homelessness? Well, this is homelessness. This is what causes homelessness, what I'm saying, what I'm speaking about. They think it's funny. Remember that guy? He thought he was going to move up the chain over that company. We got 5 officers together. We made his boss afraid, his mother afraid, his uncle afraid. It was so funny. Now he's homeless. That's how cops are, man. They're very sick. They're the proverbial sick bitches, whether they're man or women. You don't even start being a cop if you're a sick bitch. And you know what I'm talking about. They get off on causing changes in people's lives that they say shouldn't exist. And they're getting off on it. It isn't just some little, they're sick, man. Can't live without it. Who are we going to fuck today? That's what they call a task force nowadays. Who are we going to fuck? Task force came into town. Who are we going to fuck? Jesters of Satan's court. So they increase the crime in your community by these semi-annual task forces that roll into your town. Now they'll rescue all the children, and who are the children that are being trafficked? The people they fucked, the traffickers, and the children's family. They know how it works, man. Fuck everybody in the community, and then the crime increases, and then you ride in because you know who you were setting up to be a sex trafficker. You know, a guy that was working at Walmart you didn't like, so you fucked him off, and now he's a sex trafficker. And you get to arrest him one day. But of course, you use your women in Walmart that you have sex with, whether you be a woman or a man, or vice versa, a woman officer doing the same thing. This is what's going on. Nothing else. And they'll go, ha ha, yeah, of course more. Okay, you go to hell with you. That's the final point. Oh, but we go to church and we're saving people. It's all a lie. They're exactly who Jesus said they were, but now they're Christians and police officers. Although law enforcement used to be religion, so everything that applied to Sadducees and Pharisees applied to the law enforcement. That's corrupt. Corrupt religion is pretty much the same as corrupt law enforcement. And now they're together. The partners of King Satan's court. That's their king, Satan. So there's another question as to whether it's political corruption. The question is, are they moving for the election already? Because some people will shift their vote if they believe the cops will get off their back if they support Trump or something like that. So we have to look at that. So we're possibly, again, it's multi-tiered. We have people that are like Chase Steeman, the CEO there, that'll pay the money, or his security guy will call them and insinuate something of an up for them, some remuneration. But then again, it could also include putting Trump back in. There's no politics. Don't tell me Chase Bank is a liberal. Chase Bank is a demon, a devil, an antichrist, a witch, a sorcerer. It's an Epstein, a CIA plant to dirty everyone else or to operate everyone else. So we have to look into the Proud Boys, the 3%ers, that these cops are part of that. And that they're moving spycraft to manipulate the next election. Now again, well, I'm a gay cop. But, that doesn't matter. Number one, they could be part of it. I explained that before, how they use people. Because buddy fuckers are buddy fuckers. They're not. They may, ride that political wave, but they're buddy fuckers. And in fact, those organizations want a diversity of political connections so they can put that corruption into everything. So again, what I've been telling you about what they're doing in my life is what they were trying to do to Biden, I imagine. Well, I mean, Biden probably took some money somewhere, but I don't think that person had any information, and I don't think it's at the level that that person tried to present it as. I mean, obviously, Biden took money. It's everywhere. I mean, or his son or whatever. I guess the question is whether Biden was involved. Again, the idea is this. You all take money. So, I mean, I'm not, if we focus on the money, then we don't focus on what's going on out here on the street to cause the crime, right? Yeah, that's what that is. It's a distraction. Everybody takes money. Everybody. Your preacher takes money. Your mother takes money. There's very few people. I'm a minority on this planet. I don't take money to buddy fuck. But that buddy fuck is at the level of CIA technology at this point. That's what they're doing. So although we might have some area that we see something, there's multiple prongs driving it. He may have, they're so sleazy. The guy that came to the Republican Party may have actually been paid by the Democratic Party to confuse the investigation into Biden. But yet the Republicans also paid him, and who knows who else. I guess the FBI paid him. He's working for everybody. Actually, the Republicans didn't pay him. I don't even know if they knew, because they don't know if he exists. There's several people. That's right. There's one guy's the FBI guy. One guy's the other guy. No, actually, no, it's the same case, right? Same case. Right. So I guess Republicans never got a chance to pay him. But maybe he's working for the Democratic Party. So again, you're working with sleazy people, so you have sleazy operations, all of you. So we need to look into people manipulating the election, especially we know Florida admitted to it. Yes, we have this great program in Pasco. It's intelligent. No, it's ignorant. It's buddy fucker. it's ignorant. It's buddy fucker. So we have to look to see if they're manipulating the vote. Now, they actually are manipulating, but I mean, I don't know if there's a law. You could actually, it could be a criminal conspiracy, but you'd have to get audio of it, I imagine, an agreement or statements. Well, they probably sat around and going, how are we going to get these Democrats out of our state? The liberals are taking over. So they draft a bunch of laws that drive them out of the state. That's actually what they want. They laugh when the Democrats go, we're leaving. Goodbye. We'll remain in office now. So again, they are manipulating elections, and they are, when they do that gerrymandering and they discriminate against a class of people, they're trying to drive those people out of their state. So they get voted in by some corrupt mechanism, and then they discriminate, and then that class of voter leaves the state eventually, and that's what's happening in a lot of states. So it's actually corruption, but you have to get evidence that they said that to one another, and somewhere along the way, I'm sure they did. They almost say it in the media, right? DeSantis and others have said that. So it's not convoluted, but it's many pronged motivation. So again, they've developed criminal organizations, sometimes called secret society. A police department could be entirely secret society. There's no doubt. It's a high value position. If you're going to be corrupt as a cop, you'll be very rich. You'll have a job in silicons, believe me. Silicons and silly clowns and jesters of Satan's court. So they could be trying to shift the vote. They would start about now. % sometimes. If enough law enforcement entities harass people into voting for a certain candidate, there's your few percent. And we already know that Tarrio was connected to that lieutenant. I mean, he's like the intelligence lieutenant in D.C. I mean, or an intelligence lieutenant. So he's pretty high up there in responsibility. So again, I spoke about it's more important to realize the what do they call that? I guess spycraft effort that they might be engaging in. In other words, secret society, spycraft, Proud Boys, 3%ers was more important to know what they were doing there than what you could see, say, January 6th. Now, through January 6th, you were able to take them out. But I surmise they were part of, in their hometowns, moving that secret society harassment. And again, if I call it harassment, it doesn't mean it's only harassment. We're talking about psychological murder here. Denying people health care, denying people, well, how are we doing? How are we doing? They put people in the offices, they hire people in the offices. They use that informant model to build a paramilitary army that is destroying the United States, but it's enriching them, so they say it's not destroying the United States. Like, wow, my life is fine. I don't know what he's talking about. Satan. So again, that's how disgusting it is. They don't care that people are criminals. They love shooting criminals. And even some of those people that they chase after, they won't stop chasing people because they're addicted to chasing people to kill them. Yeah, the car, boom, boom, boom. That's why they won't let us move that forward and get away from the chases. They get money to do it, man. They screw that person's head. Next thing you know, they're driving around in their car whacked. They tried to do it to me in Oklahoma City. They probably tried to do it here. Definitely tried to do it in Oklahoma City. They weren't testing me. They were psychologically operating me to get me to do something crazy and run from them. If they thought I was going to run from them, they would do it. But they don't want to have a record of a perfect traffic stop. Because that's what used to happen. Now, they get me speeding or something, they would probably pull me over to mess up my insurance like they did. While they were blocking me from moving into an apartment, I wouldn't even have been out there. And they're driving around me, harassing me. So again, I lost focus. Again, that's what the operation's doing here with their paramilitary armies. These are paramilitaries altering the face of the nation in criminal and heinous ways. I don't care if you're liberal or a conservative, a Democrat, or Republican. You're a devil. You're a demon. You're an antichrist. You're a witch. You're a sorcerer. You're one of the most heinous criminals that exists in this country. You're secreted in places you never should have been. So says Jesus. Jesus concurred from a bumper sticker. And again, that's what Jesus was saying, wasn't he? And they're trying to give me an ulcer and all that kind of thing. But like I said, I was drugged. That's how that happened. They believe their own bullshit. How long I've been speaking in 27 minutes. Yeah, I got to go in and do a breakfast or something soon. As far as homelessness and unhoused people, you just have to keep moving the programs and expanding it and expanding the horizon of what you use. Again, I forwarded the idea of possibly using RVs or even trading out the RVs that somebody's using and then providing a place for the RV to park. It's kind of out there, but if you can't get people to give up the RV and you always have a certain number of RVs that exist in the unhoused community, then the only way to do that is to get them to move to a better RV because what they're doing is unsanitary. I mean, it's not probably, you're probably not there yet, but it's, a novel idea and it would work most likely. The problem is you don't want them going back out on the street. But the idea is if you can get them into the program for like a year and say, okay, after a year, if you meet the requirements of the program, we'll turn this over to you. And you're not buying a new one, but buy something that works. And while they're there, they're going to learn the sanitation aspects of an RV. So if someone because they're traumatized on the street, they have the RV because it gives them some assurance that they have a place to sleep no matter what you do to them. Again, they go into your programs, you got buddy fuckers. And they fuck the homeless people. And they make it about them instead of about the buddy fucker. That's some cop and some homeless shelter employee that said, get that dude back out on the street. If you don't want to be it, then don't be it, all of you. But if you're going to be it, so be it. So again, the RV Might be a last-ditch effort for those RV people. But the idea is you get them in that program for a year, you might be able to get them to a residential setting, a normal residential setting, not a... Because, again, they're reacting to traumatization. I mean, being homeless in itself, being unhoused, is traumatic. But people love to cause that in somebody's life. So there's a series of operations that took them and caused that in their life. And then when they were there, there's people in all these little services that are buddy fuckers. They're devils, demons, antichrists, witches, and sorcerers. And they're working for the thing I'm telling you they're working for. Mr. Chase Demon calls, say, not good enough. We want him on the street. We'll give you $10,000 in that shelter for each and every one of you. You put him on the street. But who does he use? Hey, Popo, got a job for you. Gotta do a job for us. That's what's going wrong in the world. That's what's wrong with the world. Nothing wrong with the world. I got $10,000 free. Gonna have a big soiree in my pool next week. We're gonna get drunk and coked up. Oh, Mr. Chase Demon, because his operator paid his money. And that's to let you know, and it wasn't me, it comes out, I have a black scent every so often. Black people are doing it. That's what God wants you all to know. Don't focus that it's only white people or red people or yellow people. Black people are doing black people for white racists because it's money. That's what's going on in the world. Because they can't get in if you don't have turncoats within the organization. I said that about law enforcement when it fell. I mean, it's gone. There's nothing left. It's an illusion. And I learned who they were over time. Oh, they're wealthy. They got big houses. Some are dead, of course, but some have big houses. And you could have it too. Jesters of Satan's court. Very talented, aren't I? No, I don't push a button. I actually do that out of my mouth. Now, the scripture that speaks about Jesus' mouth. That could mean 50 different things. I'm one of Jesus' mouths. I'm also one of the angels that arrive in the end with him. Now, I can't tell you on this planet as I stand here right now, whether it's a day or 1,000 years or even 2,000 years. So that's how it's working. And then there's residual. Again, once you enter in that type of psychological harassment and torture into a community, it reverberates around. There's people out here that are torturing their neighbor out of the neighborhood because you told them how to do it. And maybe because they don't do drugs. I don't like that guy. He don't come over and party with us. Because Mr. Chase Demon gave us $10,000 to do this guy. And now we're going to have a drug coke-fueled party. That's how sleazy the banks are. They know what's going on. Well, don't take those calls. Don't take those jobs. Do your job instead of doing a job. But of course, Mr. Chase Demon's very worried about his bank and himself because they financed Epstein's Island. Most likely we're on Epstein's Island. What are the hidden names on the list? Whoa. Page projected big curse. not corrupt, man. What do you want me to say? You're honest? You're good people? But you call each other good people, don't you? Demons call each other good people. So again, they could be connected to political influence, corrupt political influence and things like that. Out here pushing the vote for Trump. That's what it appears to be in a lot of the communities. I haven't been here long enough to see that. And again, it isn't only Trump. They push the vote for Obama. They push the vote for this person and that person when you're in that community. But you'll see it more so in conservative locations or being pushed by conservatives. Again, they have more money. They use their money for such criminal operations. The idea that they're church and pro-law enforcement and pro-church is a lie. They're pro-corrupt church and they're pro-corrupt law enforcement. But they'll call it something, something grander. Hey, we're getting rid of the Islams or the transgenders or whatever it is. I'm going to move them away. They're trying to penetrate. Whew. Nice walk here. How long has it been there? 36 minutes. Maybe I'll go on for an hour. I like walking for an hour at least. So again, the corruption is what killed everything. Again, people that corrupt have $1 million homes, so they'll say no, there's nothing wrong with the corruption. Otherwise, they'd be a nobody because they're ignorant buddy fuckers. But again, a buddy fucker is never really a buddy. They're just always looking for the next buddy to fuck. And they pretend they're a buddy. Even in the groups of corrupt people in these police departments, they'll fuck each other in a second, man. They're sick bitches. And they are out there driving around Johnson County today, selecting people to be anti-police. And then harassing them as long as it takes to make them say something against cops. Oh, see, I told you, that man over there is anti-police. There's black people working for white supremacists. That's real. They don't care. They're getting their money. They're pulling themselves up. I mean, borderline, what's her name? What's that name? What's that woman's name? Well, she got a white husband, so I guess it's, halfway there. Candace O. She works for white supremacists. They're one of her favorite people. I'm sure she operated a few people just to get there. Well, that's all you got to do. Bullshit. Satan's in your mind. Satan won't let you let me up. Satan will drive you nuts till you do me. But then you're with Satan. It's a little humid this morning, huh? Because my room's like real dry now, so I really notice it. I keep it around 40%, 40 to 60%. I'm closer to 40, like 45 to 50. So what they'll say is, well, we're just trying to help the guy. This is one of their biggest bullshit buddy fucker stories. We're just trying to help the guy. Oh, I wanted to check. What was the other one? Check out. There was something that came up yesterday. I forgot to speak about it. There's a thing where they're checking somebody out, but I forgot what it said about checkout. Oh, self-checkout. They use that to try to get somebody to commit suicide. They'll use that reinforcement, that visual reinforcement. It's not by accident how the world's structured. So if you listen to the officers, a lot of times they speak about doing it. We're just checking the guy out. Checking the guy out means killing the person, if you know how slang works. Self-checkout means kill yourself. So that's why they introduce that psychology into their victim's mind, not to investigate a crime, to kill their victim. Now, if it goes to some investigation of crime and prison time, then they're okay with that too. But that's why they're doing it. They're very sick. They'll just put you on every list they can. That's why they like the watch list and stuff like that. They make lists. Let's put people we don't like on the lists. Then we get to psychologically operate them and put them on additional lists. They're sick bitches, man. There's nothing else you can say. You can't say they're good people. You can't say they're okay. You can't say it's the highest level of police science. They're sick bitches that are buddy fuckers. And that's literal, all of you. That's a command. That's a law. That's going to invade your mind and destroy your life if you keep pulling that bullshit and saying they're good people and great investigators. So again, the idea is this. You get back to work. You get back to not being a criminal in government, or the world will continue to be destroyed, and it will focus more so on all of you. We'll just shift it a little bit because it doesn't seem like it's getting to us. And we being the heavenly host, of course. Jesus concurs. Same vehicle. So what they do is they move informants into communities, take over the community with corrupt informants. And then sometimes what they'll do is they'll start pranking. And they'll prank you to get your stress up. They go, oh, they were just pranking when they get caught. They were just pranking. The cop's like, we'll take care of it, but cop puts them up to it. They spend decades doing this, communities and people. That's why you get like a murder a day. Isn't there like about a murder a day in this area? They say, well, we only have this many murders in Kansas City, but if we step 3 feet outside of Kansas City, it's still the same location, right? Another murder, right? That's how they do it. Coming down here to Latham, another murder. Go over there to Lenexa, another murder. Go there to Overland Park, another murder. Oh, it's because of bail reform. Jesters of Satan's court. Yeah, it's criminal use of informants, paramilitaries. They have their own paramilitaries, and they will drive a person to vote for who they want them to vote for, if they can. The informant may not even know what they're doing. I'm not welcome here? Well, you're not welcome here. Whoa! That's all you're doing, all of you. Whoa! Whoa! Now you won't be welcomed, all of you. If the people weren't afraid, I'd be welcome, believe me. They'd come out in droves, pat me on the back. But of course, you'd pay them money not to pat me on the back, and then who are they? No longer the people. They're butterfuckers. Sick bitches. So no good deed goes unpunished, right? That's what the motto of the sick bitches are. That's what they do to people. Being tortured right now for a good deed I did a couple days ago. It's not grooming to engage in charity. But it is grooming what you're all doing to people. Law enforcement is grooming adults to be child molesters. And they also use sexual triggers to do it. But yet, they're grooming children for what? To be sexual bait. Sexual bait. Don't tell me there's no sexuality in them. It doesn't work. Since you started making them sexual bait, now they're all having sex together. You entered that into that community, into that age group. Oh no, something else. Science, where are you? Jesters of Satan's court. Makes them rich, man. They murdered people. I mean, they got all sorts of motivations. Protection from life in prison or the death penalty. Everything they owned was from corrupt money. You were a marshal or a deputy marshal, but you're a piece of shit, sick bitch who murders people for CIA criminals, who takes out Bob Levinson, who takes out Deputy Director Dudley. So one of the sick bitches that I'm speaking about could get his position, but they never gave it to him. They wanted their CIA man as deputy director because eventually they wanted that person to be director. That's the story to that, the truth of that. It's nothing personal, right, CIA? Keep telling yourselves that. CIA killed Dudley because they wanted one of their CIA marshals in there, or deputy marshals, inspectors. No, they don't work for the marshals. They're just there to kill people when it's time. They get fat and ugly. And to be a sick bitch and a buddy fucker unto murder. That's why they took Dudley out. I'm sure they were trying to take other people out. Well, Dudley's weak. We went through this before, didn't we? No, you didn't. There's something that looked like it. It's a scam. Jesters of Satan's court. All of yous. Clowns. So again, what are they going to do? They're going to go run and they're going to do a 7 hours of real work so they can feel good about themselves. Oh, it doesn't matter because I do this over here. Jesus already spoke to that. Paul already spoke to that. And I'm a respecter of person, right? And so is Jesus and God because we're God's people on earth, right? Getting a little sweaty. I might go in. Well, it's going to be hotter for the next week or so. Or starting next week or so. It's going to kind of go up. I think there's a little bit of cooler weather, but then bam, we're like 90s. Which is thank God. I mean, we're not there already. Larry, we're trying to get in your head. Larry, oh, he's crazy. Here's us getting in his head. You exist. Satan exists. Come on. You and Satan are one, all of you. They are the spirit of Satan. Remember, everything that God says in the Bible, they mimic and reverse and use Satan for it. They use the spirit of Satan to do this. Listening. Do I hear them now? That's my sound listening device. I can't do that sound, that sonar sound. I have to put it on. Yeah, I should do that. Put sounds in there. Just hit the sonar sound. When I'm listening, I'll hit the sonar sound. Now, because this is what affects people's minds. Some people don't hear the voice. They just have the will affect them. They go do it. But some people hear the voice, but the voice doesn't cause you to do it. It's the will behind it. So again, you know, the idea with transgenders and all of that I was speaking about, you got to move in the other direction to get back to where you are. If you do, again, I don't hate people, so I don't care that you're transgender. And I've met some fabulous transgender people. I understand there's some necessity in their life, and if that's all they're doing, then that's fine. Because I'd rather you not be the people that I'm speaking about. Now, if you're transgender and the people I'm speaking about, I don't hate you more because you're transgender and the people I'm speaking about. But I don't hate you. I'm just going to destroy you, and that's a metaphysical thing, and maybe a little bit of psychology. Well, we need to survive, all of you. We, the people, need to survive. You devils are going to be packing. I'm telling you that. You're just gonna move out of here. Move out of the world. Move off to hell. Because I don't believe anything in your system. So we said our system doesn't work. We tested it for years. We healed everybody. Not a single one of them wants to come forward or move forward. And therefore, they'll be left behind and then go off to hell. No, the heavenly host is here. What happened is God's presence is always here, right? God just showed up in this tree as I said the word God. Only God can. Oh, now look over here. He's in the other tree. Only God can do that. So, but God has a form. It's not a physical presence. It's a form, and it's multiple forms. Look in the Bible. God has form. God is both form and formless, but doesn't have physical properties. Now, where was I going there? I lost my way. Oh, okay, I got it back. So when I wake up, God's explaining to me the difference of that moment from other moments in history. But it has happened in history. When Jesus was here, there were forms of God here. When Moses was here, there were forms of God here. But God says that's a spirit body. He called it a spirit body, or the both of us, I guess, in conversation. So God's here in the spirit body with the heavenly host. And Moses came to earth. That was a long time ago. And then I lost track of Moses for a couple of years. Because you can see him. I can see the vision now. I remember it a little bit. So Moses is, you can see the cosmos. And you see Moses with the Israelites behind him and they're moving in a certain way, like almost, I wouldn't say marching, but it's a certain way, and they have the Ark of the Covenant, and they're coming to Earth. And then later Moses picks up and says, "I'm with the Palestinians. The Israelis won't see me until until they stop, work this thing out." Again, I'm not saying the Palestinians didn't go over the line at times, but your operators keep operating them into being over the line. Again, the same thing, sick bitches and buddy fuckers. Thank you, sir. So Moses is here. God's here in the spirit body. God even showed me what I looked like. He just brought the vision up from the sky. Because I got, I used to have like a bald. I still have it, but I used to have hair. I didn't shave it, and I had a bald spot. So God showed me that from up in the sky. So that's the difference between now and before. God is here in the spirit body. It's just it's a form. It's not physical property, but it means God's here, like one-on-one, versus being all matter. All matter is God. There is no matter without God. That's God's energy. Thank you, sir. So there is something going on right now, and we healed you for years. I could, again, God says that, see, God's not what he said, but I can explain to you how it works. Because, okay, on earth, God wants you to believe it's my power or something like that. Right. Or I guess God wants it to be thought of his power, but he doesn't want me to explain how it works because it kind of takes the glory away from the person he's trying to glorify, because God does glorify us sometimes. But the idea is this: it's God's power. I can't move any of it. Everything I say, God moves. Right now, I would be the Rain Man. And that's what they're used to. They're used to somebody just going bonkers and being like, the Rain Man can't even function in life with what they're doing to me. So I'd be sitting there going, "What time, Judge Brown? What time, Judge Brown?" Instead of "What time, Wapner?" I used to say Judge Judy, but now we're on Judge Brown. Like the Rain Man. So I guess that's about it for now. Stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.